before we dive into this though, I just want to announce to everybody I started House of the Dragon literally last week, like I'd say about a week ago today. I started
About
House
a
of the
week
Dragon.
ago.
Yep, purpose. He said on purpose, by the way. But what happened? I was on Twitter last Sunday night, and I noticed that House of the Dragon was trending higher than Sunday Night Football last week. And when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, like this is actually like a cultural thing. Like everybody is watching this shit.
Oh yeah.
And after I saw that on my Twitter, it started popping up like on my social media feeds, just like House of the Dragon stuff. And so spoiler alert.
Hey man,
I just saw a clip of Viserys without his eyeball, and I was like, I need to watch this show. like I was like, I need to watch this show.
Yeah. No, I was a little bit late on the app. Like, so I started watching it when it first came out, and I like in between episodes, like because I've been so busy, I haven't been able to watch them like on release day or even sometimes release week. So like I've had a couple weeks where I've like been watching episodes like back to back.
The spoilers are everywhere.
Which is kind of nice. And I managed to not get spoiled for the most part. Which is nice. Impressive. But like low key, if you don't get spoiled, like I feel like the best way to watch it is all in a row. I haven't watched this newest episode 100%. Yet. I'm about to.
I watched the first like 8 episodes over the span of like 4 or 5 days, I'd say.
Yeah,
and it's just great.
It's a great show.
I never saw Game of Thrones,
but you're about to.
Yeah, no, I'm starting it the season finale next week. But like,
you're gonna have to text me how it's going.
I didn't think I'd get into
it's great.
It, but I did. So
it's great.
I guess season... I really know what Sundays are truly about now. Going from Sunday Night Football to House of the Dragons, like, I mean, yeah. name a better combination for a Sunday night than that. So yeah, I guess I've grown up and I've entered the adult world now by watching House of the Dragon. After this, I'll start The Wire and then Succession. But yeah,
don't forget what was it called? White Collar or something? Suits.
That could be
Suits.
I'm not that deep into Mad Men.
That was the one I was thinking about. Mad Men.
But yeah, that was our pre-pod rant on House of the Dragon. Good show. Highly recommend it. But with that being said, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today it is episode number 57. 57. Episode number 57. And as an Ohio State fan, I couldn't have asked for a better bye week. I couldn't have asked for a better week off. What a weekend of college football.
I didn't even realize it was your bye week.
But as a LA fan and USC fan, what an awful weekend.
LA down bad.
What an awful weekend.
LA down bad.
For that portion of LA people. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin, but we're going to start off with baseball. First things first, I hate to admit it, but congratulations to the San Diego Padres. You have won the 2022 World Series. Since 2016, the Dodgers have either lost to the eventual World Series or have won the World Series in the playoffs. So after the Padres eliminated the Dodgers in the NLDS, hate to admit it, but congratulations, San Diego. You have won the World Series, and it pains me to admit that they're going to do that without Fernando Tatis.
Probably not a good look for Tatis, though.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what he's going through, but I don't even feel any type of need to clown the man or anything. It happened. That's in the past. Padres
while we're on the Dodgers tyrant, I know we got into this. I know Dodger fans around the world collectively are on this, among other things. But over the last couple of days, we've been talking about, you and me have been talking about Dave Roberts and what we think what should happen with him. I know you are not the biggest Dave Roberts fan, but ironically, you have been supporting him more than I have.
Yep.
In my personal opinion, the Dodgers should get rid of Dave Roberts. And I understand that he has brought stability and consistency to the Dodgers franchise for like the last 10 years. They've gone to the playoffs for the last 10 years. But if you look
Not
at it,
quite that long, but yeah.
But if you look at it, right, out of all those years, out of all those good teams that the Dodgers have had, they've only managed to get one ring, and it was during COVID. And people don't necessarily count that as, some people don't count it as a ring. I count it as a ring, but some people don't. And with that too, like, constant failure in the playoffs, like regular season, we're not here for regular season banners. We're here for the championship. We're here for rings. And if a coach, even a phenomenal coach, a great coach, can't get that, even if you're making the playoffs, there needs to be a change. And it's the same kind of deal. Like, there's been turnover in the NFL, there's been turnover in the NBA. When even a coach has gotten you to the playoffs consecutively, and they fire the coach so that they can get a new person in there to try and get you to the championships. Like, look at Brad Stevens from the Celtics. They fired him after making the playoffs and got whatever the.
Well, I think he did step down, and then they went to
he did
Ime
Udoka,
which we know what happened there,
but among other things. But they didn't make the championship.
When it came to this was actually the most disappointing team in MLB history. In a 111 win team,
Dodgers record
bounced round
season.
one.
We also talked about this. I honestly think that if the Dodgers had not had 6 days rest, if they had just gone straight into playing from the regular season, that they would be in the NLCS right now.
I mean, I'd love to say that.
Personal opinion.
I'd love to say that to Everett, and I was very concerned about the 6 days of rest going into this series. But at the end of the day, the whole year, the one thing that plagued the Dodgers, they can't play small ball. They can't get hits with runners in scoring position. They just cannot get those massive innings, and that's what it came down to. After Gavin Lux's double in the third inning of Game 1, the Dodgers went 1 for 26 with runners in scoring position for the last, what is that, 27 plus last, I think last 28, 26, 27, 28 innings. They went 1 for 26 runners in scoring position. You're not going to win baseball games like that. And this has kind of been a thing that's plagued them every year in the past. The 1 through 4 gets up there and they just cannot knock in runs. I don't blame the bullpen or the pitching in any way. They literally did everything you could ask. I know we're going to get into the Game 4, what happened with the pen there, but at the end of the day, the hitters could not hit. It was 3-0 going into the 6th or 7th, and it should have been 8-0 Dodgers.
The Dodgers, yes, it's a consistent thing, and yes, some of that falls on the players, but I think the other bit of it does fall on coaching, whether it be the hitting coach.
I agree.
Roberts.
It's something. It's probably
there needs to be a change, and if Mookie and Freddie are both there for the next 6-7 years, unless they trade them away. So unless a coach is terrible at their job, I think get somebody else in there, fire Dave, or let Dave Roberts go, maybe give him an executive position or something to make it, kind of nice transition, phasing him out, phasing in a new generation of baseball, and let somebody else take control of it. Because I honestly feel that if you give somebody else a chance to work with these players, to work with this phenomenal roster that just got 111 wins, they might be able to get something out of it that Dave Roberts has not been able to.
I mean, at the end of the day, or not at the end of the day, like going into the season, like in past playoff runs, I've just been, Dave Roberts, you're so bad. We need to get rid of you. Even after we won the World Series, I was like, screw it, still fire him. It shouldn't have even gone to 6 games against the Rays and stuff. Like, all those thoughts are going through my head. But after this past playoff run, I don't even blame Dave specifically for losing.
But everything starts at the top. Everything starts at the top.
Something needs to be changed.
Dave Roberts
consistently have 100 teams.
I understand that the Dodgers consistently have had 95, 100 win seasons, but you can't have a coach only be good in the regular season. You can't have a coach that can only coach in the regular season. Even if some of it falls on the players, like, yes, that's true. But a lot of it does fall on coaching. A lot of it falls on management. And if you can't game manage well, if you can't coach well in the playoffs, there's some change that needs to be made. And it's been a consistent thing with Dave Roberts. He's been able to do really well in the regular season, but come postseason, he's choked every single time.
Yeah, it is just like, for me personally, I think it's just very funny that I don't fault Dave Roberts at all, but now this is when everybody else is finally like, Dave has got to go. And so I'm not going to sit here and now act like I'm Dave's biggest fan. Yes, it's time for him to go. I I don't really know exactly how to fix it. It seems like a team mentality thing,
which also
in
starts
game
at the
2,
top.
it was a tied 3-3 game, and it literally looked like the Dodgers were down 3-0.
Like
in
it
the
also
series,
it
and then
starts
we were
it
up
starts with
1-0.
it starts with Dave Roberts, and has consistently been a problem of when the team starts to lose a lead, everything collapses, and that does start with Dave Roberts. But they also need somebody who's going to be there and be like a spark plug, like Juan Soto is. Like,
I wouldn't even say it was. It's just
but
like that
but
whole.
I'm just saying,
team,
if you have somebody
they
like
just
look
wanted it
look at I know it's not everybody's favorite Dodger, but Puig, look at Puig on the Dodgers, getting in fights with other players.
I think you're very wrong. I think Puig is a lot of people's favorite Dodgers. He's definitely up there for me.
If you're a Dodgers fan, yeah, but if you're not, a lot of people hate Puig.
Okay, yeah. From that perspective, yes, yeah.
But like, look at someone like Puig getting in there, getting in people's faces, getting super energetic, fighting with the other team. Like, you need a player like that in the playoffs. I just miss
like a Kike Hernandez on the Dodgers when he went deep against the Braves. It's just like that emotion you see out of the locker room where, I don't know, maybe it's a team chem thing. I don't know, but it's just this Dodger team. They weren't united. They weren't.
This
really
probably will be
together.
the last season for Cody on the Dodgers, Trey on the Dodgers.
I mean, Cody's long gone. If he can't even start in that series, yeah, Cody's gone.
We didn't even use Gallo. Like, he's probably not even coming back. Should have used Gallo, but we didn't.
Anything could have been better than Trace. Trace is just fucking.
Justin Turner's probably gone.
He should be gone. I mean, it was hilarious because he was also on fire second half or last 2 or 3 months, and then he was a minor league hitter at the plate. But yeah, something has to change. Dave Roberts has got to go. Something needs to change with this team. I don't know exactly what it is, but I swear if we had Juan Soto and Manny Machado on our team this year, we still wouldn't have gotten hits. Like, it's just a team plague. And I'm not even saying like go out and get Aaron Judge and stuff, because I know Judge next year will be batting .085.
I'm telling you, it's Dave Roberts. I'm telling you, it's Dave Roberts.
No, I just definitely think it's a team mentality thing, and Dave's got to go. But yeah, that'll do it for the Dodgers season for us.
Dodgers depression.
We'll go over next couple round stuff. Anyway, though, like Philadelphia Phillies, goddamn. Woo! All right, that's it on the MLB. Let's get to college football.
Okay, I want to start off. I know we have to do.
Let me do recap first, and then we'll go.
Okay, and then I got a point. All right.
All right.
Get the juices flowing.
You got a clock ready?
I got a clock. All right. Okay. I hope you've practiced.
Definitely not.
In the mirror in the morning? No?
Zero. All right. This is my first run through.
One take. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Down goes Bama, and down goes the goalpost after Rocky Top got back on top for the first time since 2006. Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum treated the Penn State run defense like a peewee football team. Iowa State almost had Texas for a minute, but Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson held it down on their last drive. TCU kept their undefeated season alive in double overtime against Oklahoma State, and the Utah Utes rallied back late against USC to bounce back after their loss to UCLA last week.
Tulane ranked. All right. 30 seconds is right on the dot.
Here we go.
But okay. first things first that I want to talk about. All right, and I'm prepping this for a clip because I think we're gonna get something out of it.
Okay.
Our boy is back, Grant. Anthony Trash has released another list.
I didn't see
This time,
I didn't see this list.
it is his top 10 quarterbacks in college football. Anthony Trash. You ready?
Yeah.
1.
Wait,
Bryce
real quick.
Young.
When did he do these? Like just
This
post
was
them
released
recently?
3 days ago.
Okay.
3 days ago.
Okay.
1, Bryce Young. 2, Caleb Williams. 3, CJ Stroud. 4, JJ McCarthy. 5, Quentin Ewers. 6, Sam Hartman. 7, Hendon Hooker. 6, DJ Uyunglele, as you would put it. 9, Grayson McCall. 10, A, Drake May. And 10, B, Tualia Tagovailoa.
Okay. So first things first, I just want to come out and say this. From what I saw in the Alabama-Tennessee game over the weekend, Bryce Young is better than CJ Stroud. And I'll be the first to admit it. Bryce Young has that X factor, that it factor on third down when a play breaks down and all shit goes to hell. He has that it factor with his legs to extend plays that CJ Stroud doesn't have. One thing I can really pinpoint, Alabama, it was a 4th and goal, second half, and they had to get a touchdown there. Bryce Young is like running in the backfield, like avoiding shit, gets the play out. I know that CJ Stroud would not be able to pull that shit out of his ass like Bryce Young did. And hey, Ohio State fans, feel free to fight me on it. Feel free to come at me, but I'm
coming
gonna be
from
honest.
an Ohio State fan.
Like CJ Stroud, he's been showing it the past couple of weeks. He's starting to run the ball a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but on a 4th and 2, when shit hits the fan, it's a broken play and you need to just get a score. Bryce Young makes that play way more often than Stroud. And I do think Stroud's still the best passer in the country for what that's worth. And he, in my opinion, is the number 2 quarterback. I think it's 1A, 1B. But I would give Bryce Young that nut. I'm not that mad at that. The Caleb Williams over CJ Stroud, though. Okay. I'm a USC fan. Okay. I go to USC. I'm obviously a big Caleb Williams fan. I think he's very good at quarterback. He is very good. He was really good against Utah over the weekend. My one comparison with CJ and Caleb is Caleb has that it factor when it comes to extending plays. He has legs. He can run. CJ really can't extend those plays. The thing is, though, the passes that CJ Stroud can make, you can do whatever you want on offense with CJ Stroud. The thing I remember specifically last week or 2 weeks ago against Michigan State was a 3rd and long. It was a back shoulder fade route to Marvin Harrison, not for a touchdown, just like for a 30, 40-yard casual gain in the middle of the field. That route, that play, that pass in general, that is not even called with Caleb Williams at quarterback. You don't even call, that's not a consideration. With CJ Stroud at quarterback, that route becomes an option. That fade route is an option on third down. And so CJ Stroud, the possibilities are truly endless when it comes to the passing game and where you can pass on the field. But this is the thing, Bryce Young, I think CJ Stroud's a better thrower than Bryce, but I don't think he's that much better than Bryce Young at just throwing the ball and being able to put the ball, run your offense to anywhere on the field. Like Bryce Young was making stupid.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that you would be having a little bit more of a excitable, energetic reaction than more of a rant.
Like in terms of the rest of the rest of those picks, though, like, I mean,
JJ
I don't
McCarthy
really know
over
how
Quinn
to,
Ewers.
like,
JJ McCarthy over Quinn Ewers.
That's actually atrociously awful. Like JJ is on, like Quinn Ewers is him. I know he didn't play great last week, but
what about
Quinn is able to make throws that other guys can't. when it came to like Sam Hartman on there, I'll be honest, I'm not watching a ton of Wake. I
What
can't
about
really tell you
JJ
much on-
McCarthy? What about JJ McCarthy over Hendon Hooker?
That I think is crazy. Hendon is playing unreal this year. And Hendon on Saturday, he was picking up plays with his yards that CJ wouldn't be doing. Like Hendon Hooker said, screw it. I will tuck the ball and run if that's what our offense needs to extend drives, get first downs. Hendon was doing that. Like I want to see a little more of that from Stroud. And I understand Stroud's a bigger threat passing, but sometimes you got to take the yards you can get, baby. Sometimes you just got to take them. The Hendon Hooker, I don't agree with that. I think Hendon Hooker is a top 5 quarterback in college football. But like for me, I would probably put Bryce, CJ, Caleb, Quinn, and then Hendon.
Then JJ.
I'm not sure if I have JJ there right away.
DJ's
DJ's been really good this year. I know and also when I made that TikTok, I wasn't shit talking DJ. I was shit talking the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator. But they're doing good. I'll be honest. The Clemson, like I'm impressed. I didn't think Clemson's offense was gonna turn it around a little bit, but they did. So I'll give it to him. DJ Uiagalelei got it right this time. He's impressed me this year. He's doing much better than I thought. I'll give it to Clemson. I was wrong.
All right. Well, hopefully there's something in there that we can clip.
But for the quarterbacks, Bryce Young.
One shout out that I'm gonna give, and then you can give your Ohio State of the Union.
There kind of is no Ohio State of the Union.
Oh, there isn't. Well,
it's more of a general.
I was gonna say I gotta go run and I gotta run and do something real quick, but Tulane is ranked for the first time in 24 years. Also, the first time that Tennessee, I think, is off to the start that they're off to since 98. And the Saints suck. So it literally is 1998.
It feels like 98. It feels like 98. Tennessee got their first win over BAMA since 2006 when Arian Foster was their running back. That's how long ago it was.
Now, College Game Day is in contact with Tulane to come to New Orleans. Most likely, if Tulane and UCF both continue off to a 7-1, 8-1 start whenever they play,
when would that
most likely will be that game? I think that's week 9. Now, I don't give a shit about UCF. They could lose the rest of their fucking thing, their games till then, and if College Game Day still wants to come, then that's fine by me, as long as Tulane is still a 1-loss team. Look, every week, week in, week out, it's only 1-0. We're not 6-1 right now. We are 1-0. 1-0 every week. 1-0 every week. That's the way we're doing it. Homecomings this week, though. Turn out for Yeoman. Let's get it packed.
It appears as your game against them, I think, would be week
9.
11.
Week 9. Really? Week 11. Maybe it's week 10. I think maybe it's week 10. But look, your Green Wave is ranked. First time in 24 years. It's homecoming this week. We play Memphis, who ended our season last year. It's week 11. So show up to Yeoman. We are a football school now.
In terms of the other games I'm just looking at the other games that we potential. Maybe Georgia, Mississippi State gets it if Mississippi State wins. Bama, Ole Miss. Bama, Ole Miss is gonna get it, Everett. I'm sorry.
The only thing that I'm gonna say is I saw that game. But now that if you look at it, I fully understand that Bama's way more prolific, and so is Ole Miss. But
I'm curious to see how you claim the Tulane game would be a better viewing experience. But I'm open to hear your point.
Well, no, this is what I'm saying. UCF and Tulane would be for a conference. It is for first place in the conference at that point, if that's the record, because UCF plays Cincinnati. So that one of those two would be having, obviously would be the winner. And if that's UCF at that point, that would assume they're assuming that UCF would be. So it's for basically the conference. And we're having two ranked teams play. Obviously, on top of that, like I get Bama and I get Ole Miss are both prolific teams. They're way better known than Tulane or UCF, but Alabama and Tulane, exact same stat record this year. 1 AP win, 6-1. Ole Miss, not much better this year either. So just saying. Possibility exists. Alabama, I think, they get college game day every year. Why not go to Tulane?
So this is what I'm thinking of for the Ole Miss Bama thing. I don't know what Bama's upcoming schedule is, but Bama's gonna go undefeated for the rest of the year. Like, I pray for whoever's playing Bama next week. Oh my god! Like, actually, the lock
Same
of the
thing after
century
A&M
is
last
Bama
year.
spread next week. Like, actually, that's the lock of the century. But
Nick Saban might be murdering
Everett, something that I just realized. So Ole Miss is currently 3-0 in the SEC. They're in the SEC West. Alabama's 3-1. They're in the SEC West. There's a chance that the Ole Miss Alabama game will determine the winner of the SEC West Conference, assuming that Ole Miss wins their next two games. This is a very tough stretch, and I'm not confident they're going to do this. I want this. I want you to have game day here, so I'm going to tell you the path how you guys get game day. Ole Miss has LSU and Texas A&M both on the road next 2 weeks. If they lose one of those games, I still see a scenario where game day is still there, because that still puts Ole Miss in the driver's seat of winning the SC West. That game will still determine it. If Ole Miss drops their next two games against LSU and A&M Everett, then I will be pissed if you don't get game day. Okay? I'm looking at it from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm going to tell you now, if Ole Miss is undefeated, that is 1,000%. 1,000% at Ole Miss.
You're telling me they don't want to see an undefeated American team going up against UCF over the SEC?
Undefeated there. Well, it wouldn't be an undefeated.
Tulane is we are undefeated in the American.
Oh,
so if we
what is Southern Miss in? What CUSA? Sunbelt?
CUSA, one of those two. I don't know. It's not good. Not a good look.
We're not gonna bring that up though. We're not gonna bring that up. Okay, we've been going on a lot. I just wanna say okay.
I'm gonna give you a minute. You do what you need to do. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you do. Why don't you guys listen in? Why don't you guys listen into Uncle Granty real quick, and we'll talk a little bit about Rocky Top in Alabama. So Tennessee taking down Bama. I've been a big supporter of Hendon Hooker in Tennessee. I love them. Big fan of Brew McCoy, USC boy, of course. I was just shocked how that game played out after Tennessee went up 28-10 and Alabama really got back into the game and had a lead in the second half. That showed me a lot about both of those teams. And when Bama went to number 6, I think it's completely fair, completely deserved. They should be the number 6 team in the country 100%. I'm just very impressed with how Alabama's offense responded after going down like that. When I think of Alabama this year compared to Bama's of the years past in terms of offense, they don't have those pieces on the edge. They don't have those receivers. They don't have OJ Howard or whatever the hell. They don't have those weapons that they had last year with Jamison Williams and Mechie, years before with Smitty, Waddle, Judy, Ruggs, all those guys. They have a Jahmyr Gibbs, though, and Jahmyr Gibbs, in my opinion, is the best running back in college football. I'll say it. I hate to say it, but Jahmyr Gibbs, that guy is so fucking good. I don't know how he came from Georgia Tech. But Bama, I'm still deathly afraid of. And the fact that Bama had, 15 penalties for like 160 yards and they only lost by 3? That tells me a lot about Bama, okay? And I've never seen a Saban team that undisciplined ever, and I'm assuming they're going to get that fixed up come playoff time. But, hey, Bama losing this game, if anything, that just woke up the giant for me. That woke up the sleeping beast. I think Bama's only going to begin rolling for the rest of the year.
The sleeping beast as in Tulane?
Sure. Sure, the sleeping beast as in Tulane, but I think after that loss, Bama, they're about to start rallying and they're about to start going on a roll. That is my opinion. After that loss, we look at what happened last year with A&M. I know they had a hiccup with Auburn late, but they started rolling.
I agree.
In terms of Tennessee, wildly impressed by Hendon Hooker and their offense, but their defense looks like booty cheeks. And if Ohio State played Tennessee next week, I actually think we'd be able to win by 10, 15.
By the way, I saw this is on topic but off topic. I saw this come up on one of the college football Reddit tweets. They were going through a list of possible bowl games, and by no means am I saying that this is exactly what's going to happen, because it most likely won't. Although it'd be kind of sick. And I hope we make it to this game. I hope the other team doesn't. But their post was possible bowl games, and they had talked about what if Alabama plays Tulane in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl this year, and it's the battle to see which color wave is the best.
Crimson Tide versus the Are you guys the Green Wave? Okay.
Green Wave, yeah.
I mean, shit. Like honestly, I always love speculating.
I'm not gonna lie. If that,
also JMU lost over the weekend. Tulane is now. I guess the highest favorite or the favorite to make a New Year's Six.
No, it's Cincy.
Oh, it's Cincy still
because the media, like, this is
wait, but they put you guys in that
when we got ranked. Right, we just got ranked.
Someone thinks you guys can win the AAC.
Even though that's the case, like you go through ESPN's like list and they break down why each team's ranked, right? And like their upcoming stuff, like that's how it works. I read it, and even though we're ranked, they made it. It was so disrespectful to us, to Tulane. Like the way that they wrote it made it seem like they think it's only temporary, and they weren't talking about any of our positives. They were just kind of dumping on. Like, we let USF it was like get 31.
We just let you guys finally in. Yeah. Like, here you go.
Like that was it. Okay. And I'm sitting here like, that's so just like, we're gonna prove why we deserve that, and we're gonna keep running with the chip on our shoulder the rest of the season. It's conference or bust. And
I love that mentality. I love that mentality.
With that said, like the media sucks off UCF and Cincy so hard. Like, it doesn't even.
Why the UCF, like the Cincy
UCF is still. We play at home. We play in New Orleans versus UCF, and UCF is still favored versus us.
Okay. Also, this is
and we're ranked.
This is something I was interested. I asked Chad about this. I was looking. Cincinnati is going on the road to SMU next week. They're only a 3-point favorite, and I could have sworn SMU had multiple players sit out the rest of the season to keep their redshirt status. Yep. How are they only 3-point favorites? That's crazy to me.
I don't know. SMU, their quarterback Tanner Mordecai has been looking pretty good. I think that I don't know if it was their linebacker or ECU's linebacker that got AAC Defensive Player of the Week for like getting like multiple tackles, a touchdown, like a couple other things, but they've been playing really good. And with that said, Cincy, think about it. Like, obviously, Cincy's favorite. They're moving to the Big 12, right? But they lost their quarterback last year. They lost their best receiver from last year. They lost their top 2 corners from last year. They lost their defensive lineman from last year. Like,
they lost so much.
I don't understand. This is the same thing with the Packers. Like, I don't understand. They lose so much, in the media and people in general still think that they're going to be the best team in the conference. Like, even I understand that nobody thought that we, besides us, that we were going to be good. But why are you still favoring like preseason? Like, I know Houston was the AAC favorite, but why are you still getting Cincy above UCF? Like,
Everett, SMU, I think this is just. I think you're finally really understanding and learning how stupid college football media is. I think you're finally getting it now, because just off of nature, there's no way that all of the AP voters can watch every single game. It's physically impossible to watch every game, and they have to get their rankings their rankings out the day after, so they don't have time to rewatch games, even if you don't have time to actually evaluate them all. So, like,
you can at least look at the score line.
Should just be abolished. It should just be abolished. There should not be an AP poll. But rankings are fun. I'll be honest. They are fun. So there has to be one. But it's stupid. Rankings are stupid. But okay, I want to say this last college football thing, and then we'll get on to NFL. Michigan Wolverines. I'm gonna tip the cap to you guys and give you guys credit. Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum and even JJ McCarthy a little bit. They ran over this Penn State front seven, actually like they were a Pee Wee football team. I know I joked around the recap about that, but literally it was hilarious. You knew what Michigan was going to do before every play, and you couldn't stop it. You knew they were going to run, and you couldn't do a damn thing about it. I'm pretty ready to say that at the minimum, Michigan has the best run blocking O-line in the country at the minimum. Bama's passing O-line is stupid, but overall, I'd still give Michigan that edge just because run blocking is more important than pass blocking. But Michigan ran for 418 yards on Penn State, Everett.
Yeah, I don't know why Penn State also is ranked so high. Like, they have had a lot of close games this year, including the first game of the season.
Overrated preseason. It happens every year. As an Ohio State fan, I'll take it because we get a top 10 win every year, but it's the same Penn State. Like James Franklin, it's a story. Well, it's not really. Well, it kind of is, and not Dave Roberts because he does do in the regular season. But in terms of roster building, Penn State is overperforming so hard at recruiting. The amount of guys that they get, I don't know why they go to Penn State, but they get them. I don't know how they're so good at recruiting, but they get guys. But James Franklin is severely underperformed with them. Okay. But yeah, Michigan, I was already starting to respect you a lot throughout the beginning of the season, as Everett knows, and is surprised that I admit it. But I am officially respect to Michigan. I would not be surprised if they ran for 200 yards on Ohio State in the game.
This is what I love.
Wouldn't be shocked.
If you're listening to this far in the podcast, right, like on Spotify specifically, you're hearing Grant now admit that he respects Michigan. But if you did listen on Spotify, our ad opened this episode, and in the ad, Grant claims that John Harbaugh can't run a football team.
Well, I mean, I'm not giving Harbaugh the credit for this shit getting turned around here. Okay, whoa. Who said anything about Jimmy? But yeah, Michigan, I respect you guys. You guys got a good ass fucking team.
All right, NFL.
That's what I got college football though.
I got a couple things to say in the NFL. But let's start with your recap. Obviously, we are recording this before Monday Night Football, before the Chargers game, but it's Chargers Broncos, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching, but if I wasn't a Charger fan, I wouldn't be.
Knowing us, there's probably going to be some massive thing that happens.
No, there will be. No, that's not a might. There will be.
But yeah, okay. NFL recap.
Yeah. Right. All right. Tell me when you got this ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Josh Allen and the Bills finally got revenge from last season against Mahomes and the Chiefs. Something is not right in Green Bay because the New York Jets walked to the Lambeau and beat the Packers by 17. The reunion in NOLA didn't end well for Saints fan, but it did for Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Kenny Pickett and eventually Mitch Trubisky's offense in Pittsburgh was way too much for Tampa Bay to overcome, and the Falcons beat down the Niners at home and are officially America's team for being 6-0 against the spread.
That was even faster than 30 seconds. You had 2 seconds to spare.
So you're telling me I could have had more content. So you're telling me to put more content in, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
All right. So 2 things real quick.
Shit, I might throw the Tulane is ranked at the end of the NFL recap because we got time.
Okay. So first things first.
Let's start with your game.
No, I got some stuff first. Okay. This comes from a podcast host who's featured on ESPN, Rivals, and USA Today. Okay.
What do you know his name?
Michael Balco.
Damn it, don't know.
Coming from him, he has reported that people within the Packers organization have said that Aaron Rodgers has told them, and made it clear he intends to retire at the end of this season.
So I saw you liking that or something floating around. I mean, based on how this offense is looking,
I'm not surprised.
That's not an outlandish take. I mean, what was the deal that Aaron signed? How long was it for? Do you know? I could look it up. But
I would look it up. I don't know. I don't really follow that. So
pretty much just it's been the weirdest stretch for the past 2 weeks for the Packers. So they lose to the Giants in London. You could have some excuse of being in London, but then you guys lose at home the next week to the Jets.
Maybe it's just New York.
And it's another thing that makes sense coming after a London game. It should also be a little screwed up, but the Vikings won after their London game.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that excuse. So I don't want to hear that shit, Packers fans.
New season. I mean, the Vikings are still the Vikings are still the only team to win after a London game, by the way, winning a London game to win the next week. So Packers fans, I know you lost, but I mean, there's 2 L's for you right there.
So I'm looking it up. He signed I think I have this right. He signed a 3-year contract, but the 3rd year is like a player
voidable
team option or something voidable. It's not guaranteed the 3rd year. It is fully guaranteed next year, but I think that means you still have to play. Like if you retire, you don't actually get that.
No, you don't actually get that. But also what could happen though is he could become the highest paid quarterback analyst / player coach in the NFL if he does choose to retire and stays on the Packers roster.
Okay, player coach, yes. Okay. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I do know Brady's deal with Fox when he retires is hilarious.
What if
I'm not sure if he's going to do that anymore.
What if Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady became analysts and play-by-play callers together with Fox?
Instead of the Manning cast on Monday nights, I would 1000% watch Brady and Rodgers and just petty Rodgers sitting there just like.
No, dude, Rodgers would probably be on peyote or something. Mushrooms. Yeah,
I mean, he like shout out for Aaron for at least going to the McAfee's every week.
No,
unlike Micah Parsons, who just completely bailed on that fucking idea.
I know that. Oh my god! My brain just collapsed. I don't even know what I was. Oh yeah,
bro, it's a Monday, man. This can't be happening. You got to be in the swing of things.
I've been studying for 4 exams this week. All right, give me a minute.
All right.
But I know that and you stated that Aaron Rodgers lives rent free in all Vikings fans' heads. I mean, that's not necessarily it's not wrong.
True.
But if Aaron Rodgers does retire,
but it's not just you; it's every NFC North fan base. Like I'm not saying just Vikings fans.
If Aaron Rodgers retires, I expect a parade in Minneapolis this summer.
Oh, so I'll come. I have zero. I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time, but fuck it, I'll still come. That sounds lit.
Okay. The one other thing that I had before we go into these game recaps,
Vikings game.
Before we go into that, this is from NFL and CBS. There's only been one rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl era to win and post a 100+ passer rating in each of their first 2 starts. That is Bailey Zappe. I am curious to see if we are in the midst of watching. Yes, it is. I'm very curious to see if we're in the midst of literally watching Tom Brady 2.0 on the Patriots.
Okay, so
I know, like, I'm not saying literally Tom Brady, but I am saying a good starting quarterback who will be on that team, who will be leading that team for the foreseeable future, overtaking a first-round pick who was the unanimous starter for the team before injury.
I mean, let's just look at it through this scope. So the Browns played the Chargers last week. I need to find out exactly how many points we scored on them again.
38-15. Oh, the Browns and the Chargers.
Chargers. I gotta find
30-28. Chargers
okay, so
30.
Chargers put up 30 on the Browns with Justin Herbert in their offense. Bailey Zappe put up 38 on them. Now this is one thing that I'll be on. Like Bailey Zappe, the emergence of Ramondre Stevenson over the past couple of weeks has certainly helped ease Bailey Zappe into this role. Like they're running.
By the way, Bailey Zappe is 2-0 as a starter.
Yeah, no, he is. The thing though, like I'll be honest, I did not watch this Patriots Browns game. I'm not gonna act like I did. But from Western Kentucky, it's Zappe Hour, and like uh, I've heard New England Patriot fans saying like, yeah, when Mac's back and healthy, like, are we sure we're going back to him? Like, and first things first, Bill literally went to Brady over Drew Bledsoe after Bledsoe signed a 10-year, $100 million. So
He does
Mac
not
Jones on
care.
his rookie deal, he literally does not care at
Does not
all.
care. He's gonna do whatever's best for the team.
Literally, Mac Jones and any type of, oh, he's our first round guy, that's all out the window. Bill does not care. I'd be shocked if Bill goes back to Mac. I'd be shocked.
I honestly think that like Bailey Zappe is playing so well that,
and I'm not even trying to say Mac's bad. It's just what Bailey can do is just like, we got to look at this, guys.
Why not? Why not? Like, why? What is the downsides to letting Bailey Zappe continue to play? And if he doesn't play well and you need to bench him, all right, then you got Mac Jones.
73% completion percentage,
like
596 yards, 4 touchdowns,
I'm looking at the
1
box
pick,
scores.
5 sacks, but that's not horrible.
I'm looking at the box score from all these games with Mac Jones playing. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, quarterback rating of an 8. Next game versus the Steelers, they won this game by 3. Mac Jones, quarterback rating of 50, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Pretty much I completely agree. Actually, I do think
Ravens, Mac Jones throws.
It would just be uncharacteristic of Bill Belichick.
It's not even just that
for Mac. Sorry, they found my address again.
Before Mac Jones got hurt, he wasn't playing well, and Bailey Zappe since then has played 10 times better than Mac Jones was playing before he got hurt.
Patriots,
like statistically,
offense playing their
statistically as well. Like I'm looking at the quarterback right now, right? Bailey Zappe and Mac Jones have essentially both played 3 games. Zappe's thrown 51 completions on 70 attempts with 72.9% completion, 596 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception on 5 sacks with a quarterback rating of 111.4. Mac Jones, 66% completion, 786 with 27 more attempts, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, same amount of sacks, and a quarterback rating of 76. So to me, I mean, it's clear.
I think it's also an interesting little point. Once again, I didn't watch the Zappe game, so I'm not entirely sure how their offense changed, but just like average yards per target, slightly up with Zappe. Maybe they're able to extend the field a little more. Maybe Jacoby Myers is a little bit more appreciative of Bailey Zappe at quarterback than Mac. I don't know, Everett. But I think we spent plenty of time on this.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I think let's talk some Vikings.
Vikings football.
Everett, first thing I wanted to ask you. So Minnesota, you guys are up 7 going into the half. I saw a lot of comments of you saying, God, it'd be great if we could like run the ball today. It'd be great if XX yacht. From what I'm seeing, Dalvin Cook, he had a 53-yard run.
Okay. Yeah, the second half.
Okay, never mind. Explain this game to me. Why did the Vikings, why were you guys unable to run the ball? Why did Kirk Cousins
our O-line blocking
passing yards?
Our O-line blocking, just the offense could completely shut down in the first half. It was so stagnant. We had 10 punts that game. We punted 10 times, including an 80-yard boomstick, all in air yards, 80-yard air yard punt by my guy Ryan Wright, Tulane
Throwback
punter.
Big Ten football, and that punter is the most valuable player on the team, literally. But go on.
But punted 10 times. The offense was completely stagnant. Its defense stepped up. Not great defensive performance, but definitely better than it has been.
So
although we were playing against technically their third and second string quarterbacks.
One thing that I'm noticing about the Vikings, and I know Daniil's back this year. I know Zadarius Smith has had a better past couple weeks than his Super Bowl in week 1, but
Zadarius Smith had his best game of the season.
From what I'm seeing right now, Everett, the Vikings had 13 quarterback hits and 6 sacks and 8 pass deflections
this past game. Yeah.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Darius Smith, I'm pretty sure, had 11 of those quarterback. Or sorry, he had 7 of
had
quarterback
2
hits.
sacks, 4 quarterback
7
hits,
quarterback
so that's
hits.
6 total.
Okay.
I don't think
I think
sacks
he had
maybe
hits,
he
had 11 quarterback hurries. That might be what it is.
I don't have hurries. That could be it. Hits is literally I knock you to the ground on your throat. Like that's what a hit is.
No, Zadarius Smith was playing out of his mind.
Or 13. Sorry.
The one thing that I'm gonna say is I know Chandon Sullivan has had a good season so far. He's gone under the radar. But I was also tweeting out this during the game that I don't know why in the world we were putting him on Tyreek Hill. And the reason why I say that is regardless of whether or not he could be having the best year of his best season of his career. And I'm still saying let's put our number 1 corner on him. I don't care if your slot corner is having the best season of his career. There's a reason why he's not your number 1. Put your number 1 on their best receiver, especially their fastest. If it's Tyreek Hill, I want my 1 and I want safety help on him every play.
Now, in terms of Cam Dantzler, my guy, would you say put him on him?
Yes.
Or yeah. Okay.
And this is the one thing.
He can do that, or does he still need help? Though? I wouldn't.
We still played soft. We still play soft coverage a majority of the game.
Today,
minus a couple
that though, or for that game, that's understandable.
Minus a couple plays where we've actually played man, and when we actually played man, they didn't really get anything off us. So I don't really know why we don't play man more often. Like they had a 2-point conversion, we went full man, and they didn't get. It was incomplete.
I'm just looking at Miami box score. Tyreek 12 catches, 177.
Yeah. This is why we don't put our slot corner on Tyreek Hill. I understand slot corners are meant to be fast, but that still doesn't make sense. I would rather have my safety and my primary corner on him. If we're playing zone coverage, if we're playing soft coverage the whole game because of Tyreek Hill specifically, why would I not have my number 1 on him? And why would I not have safety help back there for if he torches it? Like that makes no sense to me.
I mean, hey, you guys did win. You guys did
win, but still, like it's just frustrating. It's just and obviously I'm not a coach. I'm not a Donatello. I'm not in the NFL, so my opinion is always kind of bullshit.
Everett, your opinion matters. Okay,
thank you.
You're a fucking fan. Fans' opinion matters. Okay, if fans' opinion didn't matter, what's the point of this?
I mean, that's true.
So never think that you don't matter. But Everett, come on, let's hear this. Let's hear this.
Yeah,
fix this defense for me, Everett.
Play more man, and just for that game specifically, like it works. I don't know why we don't do that more often. Like this is really the first time I've ever seen observable man. Like, you know, in Madden, when you play man coverage, you know that you're playing against man coverage.
I mean, also just like pre-snap, like it's just obvious. And I'm assuming, or at least last year with Kevin McCall, I'm assuming there's a lot of pre-snap motion with Justin Jefferson. I'm assuming there's a lot of that.
O'Connell wasn't the coach last year.
Or coordinator. Like a lot of his schemes implemented pre-snap movement with Cup.
Yeah.
Finding out man or zone.
I did not see the thing is I did not see like any pre-snap motion with Justin Jefferson, which I was very surprised by, because when we have done pre-snap motion with Justin Jefferson, we normally get a lot out of it when we run him out of the backfield. We get a lot out of it. So I don't really know why we weren't doing that.
When you were telling me about like that Justin Jefferson backfield package, like my number 1 thought of like, oh fuck, is motion him out, get him start moving. Then I'd be like, oh fuck, now he's about to torch me on a wheel. Like, bro, fuck me. Like, so I don't know exactly, but I think
also
I mean, shit, dude's 5-1
in general. Season. And we talked about this beforehand. The Vikings are 5-1, Giants are 5-1, both of which, I mean, you're kind of like, are they real? Are they not?
And
right?
Shout out to you for actually admitting that.
Yeah, and look, the Giants, Brian Dable is doing a great job. I know people are like coach of the year. Don't be too quick to rule out Kevin O'Connell. Okay. We didn't have a great year last year. Kevin O'Connell's come back, taking this team. We're 5-1 right now. I know that we have more. We have way more.
100%.
We have better. I know the roster on paper looks way better than Giants, but same record. You can't rule them out yet.
You guys also have a bye week next week.
Yes, we do have a bye week next week. The one thing that I'm going to say, and we talked about this beforehand, with the 5-1 record, you asked me how much I thought that like how I felt about it going in the playoffs about the
give me
division,
any
right?
playoff
I feel like this
chances.
team, and people are going to argue about the week 2 game versus the Eagles, but keep in mind, week 2 of the first year head coach's season, new scheme, first away game against the team that's the best in the NFL right now in Philadelphia. That's the most hostile fan environment in the NFL. Fuck you, Philly.
Did you see the Phillies game over the weekend?
Yeah, fuck you, Philly.
Mean, bro.
But shout out to my boy Lombardi. He's a Philly fan. Isn't Pling too? But okay.
No, Peter's not anymore.
But but yeah. So look, I think that no matter what team that they play, they're going to play the exact same way. It could be the Bills, it could be the Bears, it could be the Chiefs, it could be the Texans, and it's going to be the same game. And whether that's good or bad, I think that's more bad than it is good because I would like to be able to blow out a bad team. They play up or down to their competition, but will always try and win, minus that first Eagles game, right? So
like the Dodgers.
I think that I think that they are secure to hopefully continue to do well. They can still start off 7-1, 8-1. We'll see how the rest of that season goes. But they have a 2-game lead in division. We're 3-0 in division right now. Second best team in the NFC behind the Eagles with a 2-game lead over the next best team. And the Giants, I guess they're there.
But... Well, more so what I'm thinking of in terms of NFC North, another Packers loss last week. How are you feeling about that division?
Look, Bears suck. No surprise. Bears suck.
No, yeah,
Lions,
Lions aren't even. Packers.
Lions. I feel terrible for them. They were off to a great start. Amon Ra got hurt. He's coming back though. DeAndre Swift's coming back. We'll see how that is. They got to turn their defense around though, and we'll see. They have potential to be better than the Packers so far. I'm not gonna lie. The Lions could step it up and be better than the Packers this season. Packers, it's not looking too hot. They have fallen off the tracks in the last 2 weeks. And the Vikings have a game lead on them already. They do play in Lambeau later in the season, but all the Vikings games are away in conference later in the season, so I'm not that. They always play in Lambeau late. I'm not that concerned. But I'm not concerned. I'm not.
You're not concerned about Green Bay.
I'm not concerned about Green Bay. Really, if you had to ask me what team I'm going to be most worried about, if they can turn around their defense, I'm worried about the Lions the most.
The most? Okay. All right. Just throw that shade, Everett. I love it.
I'm just not worried about the Packers. They lost to the fucking Jets this weekend.
No. I know. I know, Everett.
I'm not saying they're not going to turn around. They could. But if any team, if all the teams in this division, the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers, let's say they all turn around, they get better at what they're bad at, I'm more scared of the Lions than I am at the Packers.
So yeah, I feel like when I actually look back at this game and look at it, in terms of the Packers defense and what they did wrong, like Zach Wilson only had 110 passing yards, but the Packers the Jets ran for 180 yards. On that, I mean, I going into the season, you can clip me. This is fine, but I thought the Packers made a lot of really good draft picks to bolster that defense again. But I mean, shit, if Breece Hall is running all over you, clearly the run defense isn't there, and there's obviously problems with the receivers, Lazard, Dobbs. I mean, come on, like.
Romeo's not bad though. I'm not gonna lie. He has potential to take over as one. He did get locked down by.
The thing is though, I have him in fantasy, and
I do too.
4 catches on 9 targets, 21 yards. Everett.
He like I just said, he got locked down by Sauce, but 9 targets. 9 targets. The volume is there.
Yeah. It is. Okay,
he's a rookie.
We got to wrap up in like 5-6 minutes. My roommate has an interview, and I'm not going to be the one to mess it up. But last 2 things, we'll make these quick points. Got to bring up Tom Brady losing to the Steelers. I don't even know how to react to that exactly. I don't have any crazy takeaway. I just watched like the end of the game because I was like, wait, what the fuck? They're losing the Steelers. The big glaring thing for me is Leonard Fournette, 63 yards, 21 carries. How How do you only get averaging 3 yards a carry? How? I didn't think.
I legitimately think like Lenny is so inconsistent. I feel like there's a possibility that Rachaad White might be getting a game here sometime soon.
Who knows? It might happen.
They need to do something, and that could be it.
Yeah, so sums up with that O line. It is not what it has been in the past, but yeah. Bucks, what are we doing, man? Okay, and then last thing that, of course, we got to go over, AFC playoff recap. Bills back to Kansas City, beat the Chiefs. It was almost exactly like last season too. Bills score a touchdown with like a minute left in the game. Everyone was thinking it too much time for Mahomes, and what does Mahomes do? First play, throws a pick, game over. Now, as a Chargers fan, I was surprised that the pick didn't get overcalled for defensive pass interference, and Kansas City didn't get a first down immediately afterwards. But it was nice to see. It was nice to see Patrick Mahomes not get it done. Josh Allen get his win. Preseason, I thought Bills are a shoo-in to go back to the Super Bowl. I had Bills versus Chargers AFC Championship game. Chargers not so confident, but Bills, yeah. Bills 100%. I mean, they like even Singletary could run the ball a little bit.
What's nice is the AFC best not looking too good right now. And everybody thought it was going to be including us, thought it was going to be the best.
Win tonight, they are tied for first in the AFC best, Everett.
Everybody, including us, thought it was going to be the best division in the entire NFL. So
not just the NFL, sports. Boy, yeah. Were we all wrong. I was right about the Broncos, though, and watch the Broncos fucking beat my team tonight. It's definitely going to happen. But that's how it goes. Okay. Got to wrap up now.
All right. With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate our podcast 5 stars on Spotify. Give us a like on YouTube and subscribe too as well. Make sure to follow our TikTok at WaterboyPod, our Spotify at WaterboyPod, on Twitter at WaterboyPod, and make sure to listen to us on airlines. Big thing. We're really into being an airline podcast. So whenever you're on Delta specifically.
Not on United, though.
Buck United on Delta specifically. Play us through the PA system. Bring us up and down the aisle. Make sure everybody's following us on Spotify, on Twitter, on YouTube.
No.
Make the pilot keep the plane at standstill until everybody has followed us. But with that, thank you guys so much. Waterboys out.